Okay. So, y'all still bear with me, darlings. Know this review's a little late. But, and even though I watched this twice, I'm still confused. Maybe I'm just not that smart. I mean, it's not like I ain't heard it before. But I'm just saying, like, I'm confused, y'all. I'm bewildered. So, I want you guys to help me in the comment section. If I got something confused, if I'm mixed up about something, whatever. But one thing I'm not confused about is the fact that American Horror Story only had 10 episodes. That bothers my soul for some reason. I just feel like if Love and Hip Hop and Housewives and all these other shows and Black Ink Crew, if all these other ratchet shows can get 16 plus episodes in one season, why can't a show like American Horror Story? It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't. I know it's not a budget thing. I don't know. It's just, it's hurtful. It is upsetting. It's pissing me off. But then I went to go look, and it's a few other seasons that done had 10 episodes a season and whatever. So I'm like, but still, it's irritating me. Okay, so it began with the two clowns, Evan Peters and the other guy, who created Miss Meat, who built her back up from scratch and all that kind of stuff. They're basically, conjuring up this whole big plan, to, pretty much, get rid of the world and everything. That's their goal. That's what they're trying to do. They are the creators of the whole apocalypse. To send the missiles off and just get rid of everything, child. If you hear a little modus, it's just my fan in the back. I'm hot as hell in here. So anyway, so that happened, and all of a sudden we see Aunt Myrtle coming in, twirling in or whatever. We see Venable. Now she's still Venable. We see Venable. She's just like, do you have an appointment? You're not delivering a package. What the hell are you doing here? Myrtle was just like, oh darling, I just came here to see Mr. Such and Such and Mr. Such and Such, whatever the hell their names is. Child, people change characters so much on American Horror Story, I don't even, there's no point in learning names. She was just like, oh, it was just like, oh darling, I'm here, and Venable was just like, well, you're not delivering the package, you ain't got no appointment, or how the hell you get past the gate? She was like, something like this. She did a little spell. Child, Venable went to sleep. Myrtle said something to her, and then Venable woke back up and started typing like nothing happened. Now, one thing I love about the witches is that they mind their business. Like, they don't bother people who don't bother them. Even if you get smart with them, they still don't instantly go to magic. It's only when they need something, when they need some information, or it's a dire time or something, is when they actually might use magic on you. But just normal everyday people, they don't bother. That's what I like. It's just like, I wish we applied that to real life. With some people, like, if ain't nobody bothering you, why you bothering them? Leave them people alone. So anyway, so that happened, and what else? So she went back there to see the guys. It was just like, who the hell are you? How the hell did you get here? She was just like, oh, this is the layout for the whole little apocalypse. It was like, this ain't no little apocalypse, lady. Get your stringy haired ass on up out of here. Child, the dark hair, when he went to go try to shoot Myrtle, she turned around, child. He put the darn gun down. She basically paralyzed them, pretty much. But, they could still talk. She was asking questions about the apocalypse. She was just like, yeah, Sister Coco Daddy, I want you to put her in Outpost 3, make room for her. She was just like, what? It was like, there's no room. He was like, make room, make it happen. She was just like, oh, darling, I'm going to have to do the one thing that I came here to do. It's about that time. They was like, what do you mean? She was like, kill you. So I was just like, yas, Myrtle, yas, eat him. But I don't think she actually killed him, though. I don't think. Because, you know, they ended up showing up differently. The dark-haired one ended up being Coco's boyfriend, and Evan Peters ended up being Coco's hairstylist. So yes, child. I was just like, oh god. So it's just showing everything, you know, before it actually happened. Okay, so we cut to the witches. We have Cordelia, Aunt Myrtle, Mallory, Coco, and Madison. And they're all sitting around. They was just like, oh my gosh, I just don't know what to do. Like, we cannot. How we gonna do this? You know, oh nasty. We can't get rid of missiles. Like, we can't stop that. And Mallory's just like, I can't do this. I can't be in charge of 7 billion people. Cordelia was just like, yes, you can. Cordelia and Murder was just like, look, here's what's gonna happen. Coco, you're gonna be in Outpost 3. We have to develop a plan to save the Coven before, you know, Michael pretty much get rid of everybody. I forgot the word I was looking for. It's one of them $1 billion words. Couldn't think of it. I guess that's why I got $1 billion. Anyway, so, you know, basically Cordelia, she explained this earlier, you know, when the season first started. Well, no, like episode 3, whenever the witches first arrived, y'all know the apocalypse had already happened then. You know, now they're just going back in the past and explaining everything up until that point. So Cordelia explained, she was just like, look, I'm placing an identity spell on you and Coco. Coco's going to play like a Madison type of role, a spoiled rich girl, terrible attitude, and Mallory, you're going to be her assistant. She has to conceal them, you know, so that they won't know their powers and they won't know who they are. You know, it's just all to protect them. So they was just like, okay. They was just like, well, what do you mean? Like, you know, how is this gonna work? She was like, trust me, it's gonna work. So, and she was just like, so does this mean that we won't know you? She was like, until I break the spell, no. And then Madison was just like, well, child, we might all be dead by then, you know? So I was just like, oh, this is going to be sad. So she ended up doing the spell. They're both crying to each other. Mallory and Coco. I was just like, Lord. Quite sad. She did this whole little spell. Then they cut to Coco and Mallory. You know, how we met them as the spoiled rich girl and the assistant. You know, Mallory's just treated like shit. And, they go into the salon. We have Evan Peters as the hairstylist, and then we have you know, what's the name as her boyfriend or whatever. Child, when I tell you now. Okay, so after that we cut to we cut to Mallory and Coco. They're in the car before they got to the salon, and Madison is actually their driver. I guess their Uber driver. And then she's gonna have the nerve to ask for 5 stars after she almost killed them on the way there. I hollered. But then she saw on the side of a bus a picture of Dinah Stevenson. Y'all know this, the voodoo queen, the new voodoo queen once Marie Laveau passed away. Got killed, whatever. I'm gonna go back and watch Coven just for kicks, because Coven was just, that season just took me out. I'm also gonna watch the first 2 seasons, Asylum and Murder House too. But yes, so I can, you know, get in touch with everything. I don't know if this is gonna be. I don't know how many American Horror Stories it's gonna be, how many series, but I don't know. Y'all tell me in the comments if y'all know how many American Horror Stories it's gonna be. But yes, I'm totally here for it. Let's see what else happened. So she saw Dinah a picture on the side of the bus. Madison went back to Aunt Myrtle and Cordelia. It was like, look what the hell I saw. We got to hang a bitch. We got to hang a witch. She was like, no, you can't, kill a witch, unless she's done a horrible crime or whatever. Madison was just like, yeah, Dinah, she got her own TV show now. There's no way that she can get her own TV show without her making a deal with the devil. And as y'all know, that's pretty much what Dinah did, when we saw when Landon killed all the witches, when he came in there, Cordelia had just put the whole protection over the whole house where couldn't nobody come in, any outsiders. But Dinah, she was able to break through that little spell and invite Landon and Miss Meat in to go and kill everybody. So she did make a deal with the devil, pretty much. So it was just like, oh Lord. It was just like, Cordelia was just like, no, I want her ass safe and sound. So we gonna get her. We gonna get her. Don't worry about it. We gonna get her. We gonna get her. Okay, so let me think. Okay, so I believe they cut to, now they're at the Outpost 3. Coco's still spoiled rich girl. Mallory is, the assistant, how we met them. And they cut to the scene where Mallory is in the interrogation room talking to Landon. He's trying to see who he wants to invite to be into the cooperative. And, that whole scene that happened where Mallory, screamed or whatever, then all the fire came out, and then Landon showed that, his devil self and all that. She was like, what are you? It was like, I don't know. Then all of a sudden we cut to outside, and we see the witches rise up from out the ground into cement. That's how they were able to survive the apocalypse. They basically buried themselves. And it worked. They popped on out. It was just like, oh, it's time. I felt it. Because Cordelia said at the beginning, she was like, look, when your powers emerge, when your powers are ready to emerge, Mallory, they will. And then that's when we will emerge. We'll know it's time to come and try to take Landon out. So, they show the witches coming in, Myrtle, Madison, and Cordelia. She was like, find our sisters. Of course, Dinah, Rose, the Voodoo Queen, Coco, and blank Mallory. So, she had posted an identity spell on them. They didn't know what the hell was going on. They didn't know who was who, which way was what. It's just like, yeah, so what's tea? What's going on? Just like, look, she had to explain it again. It was like, look, and Dinah instantly, she jumped back into her, look, I'm sticking with Landon. I'm going to be his subject. I ain't fooling with y'all. I'm just here to watch. I'm not trying to defeat the devil. And, just a total traitor, right? And Cordelia knew that Dinah would, she would have that heart. That's who she is. And she was just like, look, you wanted to use my voodoo powers to take him down, but I stand with him. Then all of a sudden, everybody's queen came pooching through, Marie Laveau, child. Cordelia ended up making a deal with Papa Legma, because Papa Legma had Marie Laveau's soul and Kathy Bates' character on Coven, I forgot her name, who killed all the slaves and all that kind of stuff. Marie Laveau, it was their own hell. Everybody sent to their own personal hell. And Marie Laveau's hell was for her to torture Kathy Bates over and over and over and over and over again. But they showed a scene where Nan came to talk to Marie Laveau. And then Cordelia followed. Was just like, look, I made a deal with Papa Legma. And here's the tea. You don't really have the heart to kill or to harm anybody like that. Marie Laveau's actually a good person, once you get down to the core, but she's just not the one that you want to piss off and mess with. So Marie Laveau, she came back, she was like, yeah, so I made a trade, baby. Huh. Hey, I made a trade. Papa Legma wanted the deepest, darkest soul of the voodoo queen, princess, excuse me. He wanted to take your soul because you're heartless. Me, I have a heart, so I'm up out of hell. So basically, they were trading places, Marie Laveau and Dinah. Dinah went down to hell. Marie Laveau, is back here, child, to try to defeat the devil. Chopped her ass up. Angela Bassett chopped Dinah's ass up real good. I'm just like, my God. The only thing I didn't care for was just some of the dialogue in this episode. They always kind of make it seem like, like the black magic or the black people's magic ain't shit compared to the white people's magic. Maybe I'm thinking too deep in it. Chase, everything's not about race. I get it. I get all the discussions. I know. But I'm just saying, it's just kind of like, and why is voodoo always seen as a negative thing? It's like all magic, if you believe in it and all that, all magic has good and bad. It's like, why is it always just a negative connotation when it comes to voodoo? And voodoo is associated with black people. It's just kind of like, I don't know, it just kind of feeds into that whole thing of black being bad and wrong and dangerous and scary. And it's just like, why? Why you got an ice white cat and a jet black cat? Why is the jet black cat seen as bad luck? And the ice white cat is seen as angel and beautiful and amazing and wonderful. When it could be the black cat is the sweet one and the white cat is the damn devil, getting the black cat in trouble because everybody think it's the nigger cat. That's the issue. Let me get back to the subject. So anyway, she sliced Dinah good on up. What's his name? Landon wanted them to bow down to him. They was just like, no, this ain't Beyonce. I'm not bowing down to your ass. So Miss Meat was just like, y'all are fools. She ended up taking her little glove off and was about to shoot them all. Now, one thing Myrtle said that was very important before any of that happened. She said that your daddy didn't teach you right, because everybody knows the first rule of an apocalypse is you get rid of all the witches. Okay? He was like, no, it was my goal to keep you guys alive, see? It's like, no, it wasn't, child. You want to think about that. So anyway, Miss Meat, she takes off her gloves, about to shoot them all. Cordelia said this little spell. Miss Meat ended up bursting, child. Just blowing up. Miss Meat is Landon's everything. You are my everything. So I was like, Lord Jesus. Landon, he was upset, child. Then all of a sudden, when Landon got up, Madison took Miss Meat's hand, which is actually a gun, and ended up shooting Landon's ass up. I was like, Madison, what you doing, girl? This ain't gonna work. This the devil, right? She was just like, child, look. I had to do what I had to do. First instinct, Madison's a boss, right? So, then they get ready to leave because it was just like, Madison was like, I'll hold him off as much as I can. Madison's basically sacrificing herself for the sake of the other witches. It was just like, y'all go and do the spell and protect y'allself. I got him, child. Murder over there rubbing his hair, talking about, ooh, child is so silky. I hollered. So they get ready to, walk down the hall, and all of a sudden, Madison gets stabbed by Coco boyfriend, who, Coco left in the beginning, got on the plane and left. Then he ended up getting, contaminated, and he ended up killing Coco. But they never showed him actually, getting killed. So I guess he lived. He ended up stabbing Mallory, child. I was like, Lord Jesus. Mallory hit the floor. Myrtle set his ass on fire instantly. Cordelia and Myrtle, they went back to try to do this whole spell and stuff to try to get Mallory back. And, Mallory was just bleeding, spitting up blood. Just spitting up blood. All of a sudden we see Marie Laveau come up the steps. It's just like, yo, Landon's ass coming. Landon done blew Madison's head off her body. Child, all his blood came back into his body. He was just getting ready to wreak havoc, child. He walking up the steps. Marie Laveau was just like, child, let me, she threw out her ash and she was just like, you will not pass. She was like, thank you, Cordelia, for bringing me back from the hell. But, I'm about to die again because he about to kill me, child. She ended up putting this whole thing. She was like, you will not pass. And it worked. He was just like, do you think your dumb voodoo magic can keep me from you? He ended up reaching inside of Marie Laveau's intestines and snatching her soul out. I was like, dear God in heaven. Then all of a sudden, Coco comes behind him and stabs him in the back. As if that's going to do anything. Madison just shot him down with 100 bullets and he came back to life. What you think a stab wound going to do? Child, he ended up snapping Coco's neck. I was like, dear God in heaven. Meanwhile, Cordelia's just sitting there blowing in Mallory's ear, hoping that sister girl come back to life. She didn't come back. She was just apologizing, saying, I'm so sorry, I'm sorry. I was a little emotional. I was like, Lord. Cordelia said, I love you to Aunt Myrtle. She ended up confronting Landon. Cordelia was just like, you're nothing but a scared dumb little boy. He was like, I will always defeat you. It's sad to think that you will win. She was like, it's not about winning and losing. One thing your daddy did not teach you is resilience and how you can live on. Landon had a knife in his hand. He was getting ready to kill Cordelia. Cordelia did the spell, child. She snatched the knife from his hands, got into her hands, and stabbed herself. Before she stabbed herself, she was just like, you are the devil had one son, but my sisters are effing legendary. I was like, yes, and she stabbed herself. Meanwhile, Mallory said this little spell and she sucked on into the water. I was just like, Lord Jesus. But we ended up finding out why Cordelia killed herself and, why the whole thing, why she set the whole spell up and, all that. It was just all a setup. What else is going on? So after that, they showed a scene of back in the murder house. They showed good old Jessica Lange, was back as Landon's mother. They had showed the scene where Landon had killed the pastor. And she was just giving it to his ass. She was just like, I'm tired of you. You are destructive. I thought that you killing rodents and squirrels and dogs and cats was just a phase, but it's not a phase. You won't kill me. I want you out this house. She was just going off, and Landon, he ended up choking her up against the wall. She couldn't breathe. He didn't want to kill her, so he ended up walking out. She was just like, get your shit. And so he ended up walking out, child. He was getting ready to run across the street, and all of a sudden a car hit his ass. Boom! That quick. Who was driving was Sister Mallory. She rolled over his ass about 6 times. Boom, 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 boom. I was like, Lord Jesus. It was terrible. And Jessica Lange came out there, hugged him. She was like, oh, yeah, go to hell. She was tired of his shit. He done killed all the family members, just everybody. The pastors, the preachers, the dogs, the cats, the rodents. Everybody. The lions and talking to bears, oh my, everybody. Mallory ended up going to the Coven's house. Re-meeting Cordelia. Now I get it. Now it's all making sense to me. I was just like, oh, okay. So she, and I guess with Mallory doing that little spell, sinking into the water, she was, able to, come back and kind of rewrite history. And since Mallory already knows what's gonna happen, I guess that's why she went on ahead and killed Landon first, because she knew that he was the devil. So she was the first one to kill him. To get, and now she's able to basically change the future and what's about to happen. So it all makes sense now. I was just like, okay. So she killed Landon first. She ended up meeting Cordelia again. They didn't know each other, but she was just like, I'm just happy to be here and glad I'm here. And, this is the first time that this is the first time the girls are meeting her, but of course she knows everybody. Queenie, Zoe, everybody. And since Mallory killed the devil, she ended up being allowed to. Misty Blue and Nan was able to come back. China came out from the door. It was just like, yeah, since you killed the devil, you got first dibs in hell. So, everybody was sent to their own little personal hell, including Madison. But Mallory was just like, yeah, we're going to let Madison's ass stay there a little bit longer in the retail. Misty Blue ended up coming up, and, she got tired of slitting them frogs in half and hugging her. And, got to see Nan. And, Nan was just like, oh, child, I'm going back to Papa. Papa, let me play and all this kind of stuff. And, child, let me find out. Papa's beating Nan's walls down. I was like, ooh, Papa, you ought to be ashamed of you. You're an old ass man that's a little girl. But I don't know that to be true. That's all alleged. But, yeah, it was just a mess. But Nan went on back to hell because that's where she liked to go. And, she had Misty Blue back. All was well. It was beautiful, I guess Coco's going to come soon. And, it's everything would be good with the witch's house. Okay, so they shoot to 2020. We see Emily and Timothy. Y'all know the young couple that was there at the beginning. The mixed girl and the white boy. Ended up meeting. She was rallying for something. A year later, they became a couple and had a baby. She was having troubles in the complications. Then after that, they shoot to 3 years after that. They pull up to the house and the sky's red. And there's crows flying all over. We've seen this before, right? With Landon. So they walk in. They wonder where the babysitter is. The babysitter laid out on the floor. The little boy, just like Landon, sitting in the rocking chair laughing, sopping up blood from the babysitter. They was just, the daddy, Timothy, he was done. Of course, a mother's heart, she gonna pick up a badass child, whether he bad or not, devil child. She picked him up, was just like, oh, honey, what did you do? What did it look like, fool? Child, then all of a sudden, we get a knock on the door, and it's the 3 child. Naomi Watts, I believe that's her real name, but who played Peppa, her, the devil guy who runs the church, and Miss Meat. Talking about, oh, we're here to help, child. I'm like, Lord, have mercy, Jesus. It's how history repeated itself. Cordelia did a good thing. Mallory did a good thing. They was able to, change the future, so to speak. But some generations, some years go by, and it's getting ready to be the same old thing. What you think when that little baby grows up and becomes the devil son, and it's just what y'all think he gonna do. So hopefully y'all witches live forever, child. Y'all gonna be killing people. Y'all gonna be going through an apocalypse every few years, it looks like. But it was an amazing season. Hope I got everything right. Just a little recap, a little review. Amazing season. I wish it was at least 3 more episodes, but who the hell am I? Thank y'all for watching this, and let's talk in the comment section. And if y'all got some inside tea or anything, let me know. With this said, I'm Mr. Chalaki. Mr. Chalaki on Google Plus. Follow me at ItsKingsWorld Instagram and Twitter. At ItsKingsWorld89 on Snapchat. Chasing on Facebook. Mr. Chalaki on PayPal and Cash App. And I'll see you guys later. Alright, this American Horror Story, the season's over with. I'm out.